Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Christopher D. Nelson. I'm here at the Rafters with Scott, about to do a fantastic interview and talk about a couple of things I've done in my career. Movies like Miracle, Tooth Fairy, Love Guru, Batman and Robin, and the latest Youngblood coming out. Great to tell you stories about that. Looking forward to it. And like and subscribe. Talk to you guys soon. Let's have some fun.
Scott here with Rafters Sports and Movies, and I know you can see it in the background, the USA jersey. Got to see it's the Miracle jersey, and we have now had Miracle 2.0, and I've got some friends of mine on to talk about Olympic hockey 2026. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it the best it'll ever be? I don't know. I got my new Rafters jersey on. Love me some hockey. So let's get them in here. My friend up here in the Rafters, who you've seen on the channel before, and he's come back again for more, Matt Savage.
Hey, Scott.
Hey there, Matt. Appreciate you coming on to be with us. You got anything exciting coming up?
Well,
you
we all have Hockey Day in Houston coming up. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm looking forward to. I mean, after the Olympics, yeah, we'll talk more about that.
It'll be here before you know it.
Indeed.
Next up, also in the Rafters with me is TC Lewis. TC Lewis comes to us with a madre of hockey experience. And you can see in the background, he's got some pictures of a hockey rink that he knows quite a bit about, the Aerodrome in Northwest Houston. He also does work with USA Hockey. TC, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
All right. And last but definitely not least, and the one that has taken on a huge responsibility, Lance Rosenberg's going to join us in the Rafters, and he's going to talk to us some about Hockey Day in Houston. Lance, you round out our foursome today. We're not playing hockey, but kind of feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm embarrassed that my signature is that far worse than TC and Matt's right now. So what an incredible last 24 hours, huh? Or now 36 hours. I did watch the game 2 and 3 times. So, wow.
And you know what? I got them right here. 2 jars of Canadian tears. I got a men's jar and a women's jar, and it's the first time both men's and women's USA Hockey wins the gold.
TC, go! You're running with it. I mean, you're Mr. USA Hockey.
I was going to say what we've been chatting about behind the scenes is we're looking for all 3 for a sweep and have the Paralympic sled team win as well. They might be more favored than the men or the women were, as they've got a really solid team. So, yeah, at USA Hockey, we're excited. This could be unprecedented.
Now, bring us a little more to that. When does that play out, or has it already played out?
Nope. They'll be in the same location. I want to say it starts around March 5th. Lance might know a little bit more than me, but they take a few weeks off, set things back up for the Paralympics, and they'll go for about 2 weeks as well. And we've got a scary good team. But anytime you're playing the Canadians when it comes to hockey, you never know. So, yeah, we got a really good team, and we're looking to put all 3 on the podium.
We do have a great team. We do have a great team, but we're a little disappointed because one of our own was the last goalie cut on the team, Kyle Huckabee. He's Houston Hellhounds, our goaltender. I'm fortunate to coach them, but the last goaltender cut, he's right here from Southeast Texas.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking forward to that because that's a sport I've seen from afar, but never seen up close, or have gotten to see extended coverage. So you guys definitely chat me, text me, email me, keep me in the loop of when it's happening. If there's a watch party, I want to try to make it.
March 7th, you're going to be there, Nick's place.
Yeah.
Was that March 7th?
I have it on my calendar for, here you go. Here's the plug you were looking for earlier there, Scott, at mchockeypodcast.com. I have all this stuff on my calendar here. But yeah, against Italy on Saturday, March 7th, 10 a.m. Houston time.
March 7th. Thank you, Matt. All right. That's why we have friends helping friends and friends. So let's roll it back and let's talk women's hockey. Number one, what are your thoughts about the overall play of women's hockey, not just U.S., but women's hockey in general?
I'll start it off, I guess. I tell you, women's game keeps improving all the time. It's better and better. They've added, I don't know if I say they've added checking. To be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure I understand it completely, but they have added, the physicality is now a little bit more legal. And when you see Canada and the U.S. play, they go at it. Women's hockey is definitely the PWHL has helped, I think, a lot. They had a lot of players from the PWHL playing in the Olympics. And yeah, every year it goes by, it's better and better. And I would actually argue the U.S. team, although we had a very tough game in the last game, obviously gold medal game, I think the round robin might have been more indicative of where we are comparably. We are really generating some good young talent. And it's the trajectory is just up.
I was really impressed with the defensive play. Now their offense lit it up, 5-6 goals a game. I mean, that's pretty high scoring, and I'm respectful of that too. But the goose eggs that they put up on the defensive side were phenomenal, and that's not a one-person show. Let's give credit to the defensive people that play. That goalie can't do it all themselves. Oh, yep. We lost you.
A big part of that is the development from the college game. You got it? The big part of that's from the college game. The college game is getting better and better. And having more females playing at that collegiate level. And we pretty much all of the women that are going through, doesn't matter what country they're playing with, they're probably playing college hockey of some sort here in the States. So the game is definitely on the rise.
Lance, chirp in on this one.
Well, my high school had another gold medalist. You know, anytime Kendall Coyne can win a gold, we're always excited. So Berkshire School represent. But, I mean, TC just hits it right, just right out of the park with that answer. It's the development, the national team, the development from everything from the U13s all the way up. Tier 1 elite girls hockey is just every year it just becomes more astonishing, and then locally, having Hannah Bilka, from the Dallas area win, it just shows that anytime you have the interest, like the Stars are creating, look what it's able to do. And then, for us locally in Houston, we had that Girls and Women's Hockey Day in Houston. The Women's Hockey Association of Houston and Houston Storm, over 150 people came out, supported it. I mean, all they're doing is trying to grow the sport without pro hockey representation. It's just the hockey was incredible. The people who watched women's hockey for the first time, they can't believe the speed of the game. The speed of the game almost looks like Olympic hockey back in 1996 or 2000. That's how fast the women are playing now. And it was just a joy to watch. And of course, happy that USA Hockey won.
So the thing I think that, that people don't recognize is that the women are getting in the weight room also. And they're putting in the work on the track and on the treadmill and off ice. They're putting in the work that we take for granted in the first place. And the technology has come so far that you can do a lot of off ice work that will benefit your speed and your ability to pivot, etc. So, Matt, round us out on what we thought about the overall play.
Yeah, if you want the good hockey takes, TC and Lance are the guys to talk about, but I can only share my own observations, which are, I enjoyed both watching the men's rounds and the women's rounds of the Olympics for two very different reasons. Like the men's games, there were nail biters all throughout. The women's games, it was like punching a baby. And for two very different reasons. You have the complete dominance of the field versus, winging a prayer and hair on fire. Let's just go with the men's games, which I don't want to get into so much right now because I know we're staying on the women's games. But my experience, the games just happened to be shown at times where I were able to put them on my screen in my classroom. Whereas the men's games, not so much. I had maybe one game I was able to put on the screen, and the women in my class, it's on. They're going to stare at the big screen in my room, and I'm not talking about instead of class we're going to do this, but okay, it's homeroom time, and it just happens to be showing at 10:30 in the morning, so yeah, we could do that. And I was getting questions about what they were doing. Okay, what just happened there? Why did the whistle blow? Here I am with the whiteboard and the red and blue markers. Well, see, this is icing. Didn't happen often, but it happened enough to where I'm like, okay, this is fun. This is fun, and you can also tell the ladies on the ice there are having fun on top of everything else. Yeah, sure, competition and national pride and all that, but it's fun. Therefore, it's fun to watch.
I do think the U.S. was the dominant team. I do think this was definitely their year. I mean, in the round robin, they did beat Canada 5-0. Am I correct? Is that right? Am I remembering that right?
Yep.
Shutout.
Yep.
You're not supposed to be shutting people out in international play. That's not supposed to happen because everybody's supposed to be bringing their best all the time.
Not Canada, anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So in the round robin, best of the best, but they brought it in the final game. They didn't do the whole 4 nations like the U.S. did because the U.S. didn't win the 4 nations, even though they beat Canada in the round robin. So it was nice to see that the women kept their calm. They kept in the hunt, and then they finished it off in the end with a good move and in my opinion, a bad Canadian, decision on how to play that. And then the goalie was like on their own, and they just was kind of left in a lurch. Thoughts? Any thoughts on the gold medal women's game? Other than we know it was a tie and then it wasn't.
Tease, you hit it. Defensive hockey, just how impressive. I mean, 1-0 all the way to the tying goal late in the third period, and then again, you get into the 3-on-3, and it was just one incredible move to open up a defenseman and go in on goal. It's that game that had. I don't want to use NHL playoff intensity because driving home from work today, there was a line that I heard on the radio. People who are new to hockey, they're now going to go back, watch the NHL and say, what is this? Because of the speed of the men's game. But that women's game was almost hockey perfection, by both countries. And, of course, I'm happy the U.S. won, but man, oh man, did Canada come out and play in that game.
TC, you're frozen.
He's the best TC has looked.
Oh, no. Hopefully he'll unfreeze here in a second. Oh, he moved to second. Darn that Wi-Fi. Okay, TC, you're up. Women's hockey.
It was a little closer than I would have liked. I think I don't know if I would say we're better than that, but I do think the game was tighter than I was hoping, but made for exciting television, made for excitement that I think is going to help the sport grow no matter what on both sides of the border and around the world. It was fun to watch for sure.
So the thing that surprised me, and I know you guys know a lot more than I do. You probably have forgotten more about hockey than I'll ever know, and that's okay. Women's full cage, men's half shield.
I don't
And
know
some
if
men had full shields, but by and large, it was men's half shield.
I don't think we'll ever go to half shields for the women. It doesn't come up. I think they're content with what they got. And I don't think full shields ever come in. Well, in my lifetime, it's not going to come to the men's side.
I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's I think with the clarity and closeness that they can now get with television, that the concept of seeing the smiles and seeing the facial expressions, you might not see it in the upper deck of a Star Center, but you can see it on TV, and I think that comes through. You mentioned it earlier, Scott. You can see or I think maybe it was Matt, the smiling faces. They were having fun, and that came through loud and clear, cage or not.
Right. I find it interesting. I've played with a shield. I've played with a full glass plexi. I've played with a cage. The one I hated the most was the cage. I'm trying to look between the bars, and I know that comes with time. Of course, I'm more of a weekend warrior, so I never had the time, never worked with the cage enough to say, I accept it. This is the way, wear one around all day long, and yeah, you'll see. All right, so let's vote. Overall rating 1 to 5 on women's hockey overall. What do we think? What do we give it? Matt, we're going to start with you.
Oh, okay. Well, so here's something about me and my fandoms. I'm a homer. I don't watch the other teams. I find my team that I like, I watch them, and that's it. In this case, obviously, it's Team USA. So if you're asking me about women's hockey overall, couldn't tell you. If you're asking me about what I saw, it's a 5 because my team won the whole thing by a lot. So there you go.
We'll take that. Yeah,
all right.
That works. Lance.
Matt stole my thunder. From a USA hockey standpoint, they played, 1 goal in the entire tournament. They played perfect hockey. I'm going to give USA hockey a 5, Canada 5. They had that maybe a 4. They had the one blowout game, but they were without their captain. But I'm going to give it a 3.5 because US and Canada just continue to show how much more developed they are in their national programs than the other countries, the Finlands, the Swedens. I know this was a big topic, the last Olympics. I forget who it was, but their budget for women's hockey ended up coming in like a 50th of their men's program. And, it's great to see the game. I mean, anytime you get to watch US-Canada women's, you're putting it on. But the disparity of the other countries participating, that's the part that I just want to see the women's game grow across the world. And it's going to happen. You see the development of Finland this time around and also Sweden. But, give it another 1 to 2 Olympics. I think we're going to see a lot closer games than some of the 5, 6, 7, 8-0 games that we saw.
Right. TC, round us out.
Well, I'm giving the game and most of Canadian U.S. games 5s because I just find it a fast-paced, exciting brand of hockey, and it is physical without being overboard. I do agree, though, with Lance a bit there. As an event for the entire week and a half, 2 weeks, I would like to see some more competitive games, and so we do need the rest of the world to step up to the plate. But it was primetime viewing for me. I wanted to make sure I watched that game. It seemed to get good numbers. If I heard it correctly, 5.5 million people watched the game. It had a high of, I think, 7.5 at one point in the game. So, man, that can only help the sport. So, love it.
And the best part, the rumors came out today with PWHL expansion. So That's the best. That's the best part. That's the impact that the game made. So, or the tournament made. So, who could
Good.
ask for
Yeah.
more?
And I don't think they're overexpanding.
No,
Yeah,
not yet.
No, not. I don't think so. I think there's room for it.
Yep.
That just brings me bad memories of the WNBA and the Comets winning 2 championships back to back, and then shortly thereafter, was it 4 championships? So
Yeah,
just
they won
this,
the first 4. Yeah.
it was just dominance in there. Poof, they're gone, and it breaks my heart. And it's not that I'm a basketball diehard. I like basketball. It's not my favorite, but just the fact that they were so dominant and now they haven't been in existence for so long. Anyway, okay, so let's move over to the men's side. My rating for women's, I'm gonna give it a 5/4. So I'm gonna give 5 for USA Hockey Canada, 4 for everybody else. I give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just glad they showed up. That there wasn't just, well, we're not going to show up. It's going to be Canada and United States. We'll just let them battle it out. We're not even going to play. So, maybe you're playing for bronze, but it's something. You're on the podium. Anyway, men's hockey. So what do we think of the overall play of men's hockey? Let's go backwards this time. We're going to go TC first.
The speed and skill are off the chart. It's so crazy how good the game has gotten from a skill level.
Unless you're the French team.
Yeah, it was there's many different angles I could go with this, but I'll let others talk first. But yeah, the skill level, the speed is just so awesome to watch. So
Lance, now you're
overall just surprised by every team's performance. I mean, Slovakia coming out, as every year there's always a team that in the Olympics that's going to surprise you, whether it's a hot goalie or just ultimate team play. Sweden, I texted TC, I was nervous as all heck seeing the U.S. get Sweden. I mean, we know what Sweden can do in past, world events, and your just ability to get by Sweden that way. But oh man, it just you take France away. Germany really stepped up to the plate this year. I mean, granted, yes, they got one of the greatest goal scorers in the league right now. You had to watch every game. If you weren't, you're not a hockey fan. And it's like what I heard on the radio earlier today. How am I going to go back watching the NHL, after the speed of what we saw yesterday and the physicality to, the best in the world playing the game? And it's going to be like going from watching the NHL to possibly like ECHL level and then adjusting back. So, it was just unbelievable for the sport.
Matt?
Yeah. Lance called it with the big problem. How do we go back to watching NHL games? And not just in terms of intensity, because one of the things I was worried about a little bit, not too much, but a little worried about was, well, this is essentially an all-star game with flags. And you wonder if the players are going to take it as a national pride game or an all-star game with flags. And fortunately, that intensity from 4 nations carried over here. And he's right. How do we go back to the NHL? With those animated ad boards that drive everybody crazy. I was worried every round after the preliminaries. Slovakia being the surprise for everybody. Sweden, I was surprised, but hey, it all worked out in the end. And I'll tell you something else. My favorite part of the Olympics, aside from the gold medal, that's the obvious part. But honestly, I think if you stayed at home and watched it on your big screen with your snackies in your lap and, maybe the dog at your side, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed the game. But I think you missed out, because I don't think anyone outside of the Olympic arena had as much fun watching that game as we did at our gathering. And I think hockey is a communal sport. And if you didn't watch it communally, you didn't get the full effect of watching that game.
And
You
that's
learn
coming from the
so
guy
much.
who was biting his nails in overtime.
Right. Well, for those of you that are watching that don't know, we all four of us watched the gold medal game together at the same location in Houston. So we're all Houston homers, and yes, we are all rooting for the right team. Yeah, go America.
You say
so
that.
was,
You say that, but we were sitting amongst Canadians too.
we were, and you know what? They were really
that was
nice when
fun.
they lost. They were really nice.
It was fun, respectful, trash talking. It's everything you want sports to be. And you know, even at the end, I'm like, okay, but you have to admit you were having a good time up until that last second, right? Yeah, it was a good time for everybody, really.
Oh, the script for the game couldn't have been written better by Hollywood, really. And trust me, I've watched a ton of Hollywood movies, sports and movies. Hello, that's what I do. So let's move on to anybody got any comments about the tournament style? Were they happy with it? Do you have a take on it? Because if you don't, that's okay. But does anybody?
I think everyone hates the 3-on-3 format for championship.
Well, I'm not going there. Wasn't going there. Just the tournament.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Tournament itself. Yeah, I'm not going there. I don't want to open that can of worms. We'll be here. Okay. We'll be here for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes it.
I don't get the tournament format. How they decide who's in what pool.
Rock, paper,
I don't
scissors.
get it. Oh, okay. Well, then fine.
World rankings going into it.
Yep.
Okay.
Say that again.
World rankings going into it.
But how do they get those world rankings when those players haven't? Yeah.
It's similar to soccer. You know, when you look at it, though, it's, you know, you got the world championship. Or, sorry, the world championships at the end of the hockey season. Not all teams are represented, but I mean, we're not going there. But there is one nation I think we all wished was in the tournament. Because could you imagine that team if they played too with the level of play? So if that nation was in there, wow.
Yeah, the tournament's less legitimate without that nation in there. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I mean, it's not a geopolitical comment. It's a hockey comment.
Oh, from a hockey standpoint, wow, where would they fall? Because they could either U.S., Canada, Sweden, they're right there. So there's going to be another heck of a hockey game that we missed.
Mm-hmm. So the one that I want to see, the team that I want to see come to the Olympics, former Houston Aeros player Graham Townsend is the director of player operations, and TC already knows where I'm going. He already picked up on it. Yes, Jamaica has a hockey program. And just as much as we love their bobsled team, just imagine them. And I'm not talking Trinidad and whatever, like on the Mighty Ducks. I'm talking Jamaica in hockey. I would love to see them make it to the next Olympics. And so he's got another.
That's a perfect segue because Graham just booked his flight today to come to Houston for Hockey Day in Houston. So he's coming to town. He's very, very excited. We were messaging with each other today. I sent him pictures from the watch parties around town. So, you know, not only Jamaica, but he was the IHL Man of the Year for his community investment. So what better of a way to talk about it than when he comes to town?
His hockey camp that he ran, those kids learned some stuff when they left. They were better hockey players, and that's a good camp. If you're not getting better at a camp, you just wasted your parents' money. It could be your fault as a kid. You fooled around. You were having too much fun. But typically it's the camp's fault and what they put into it and the product they put out there. And his camp had a good product. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm the one that's side-railed my own show. All right, so real quickly, we'll go around and do gold medal game because everybody's going to pretty much have the same take. So, Matt, go first on this one.
Oh, it was awful. There you go. You wanted a different take. There you go. Yeah. It made me swear off hockey forever. I'm taking up soccer. There you go.
Right, and you think that there should have been more teeth on the ice.
I think they should add hurdles and a beach ball.
Fire.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
Fire. Maybe some fire. Maybe Disney production, kind of like Fantasia. Lance?
I was a goalie, so to watch that performance by Hellebuck, holy cow. And then, just at the end, just the save Binnington made to start overtime coming across, and just absolutely incredible. But
McAvoy in the net.
I give it a 10 of 5. The game at 10 of 5. Everyone's going to talk 3-on-3. They play 3-on-3 in the NHL, so they know what they're doing. They're playing the sport the entire season. So is it ideal? No, we love 5-on-5 hockey, but it is what it is. And both teams had equal chances in overtime, and I'm just so happy to see it, but I'm giving it a 10 of 5.
Well, we saw Connor McDavid take it all the way down to the goal and then lose it. He lost the puck right at the goal. And I think that's going to be, my screensaver, because it's just so it's like, look how good, look at go. And then you're like, how did he not score? Because he lost the puck and he was flying. He was doing his thing. That's what he does. TC?
For me, the play that Matt Boldy made at the blue line early in the game, to me, it was just like somebody said this morning to me, we'll probably see everybody doing that at youth hockey, trying to split the D, bat the puck up, keep it going in the air. But to see somebody like, we expect maybe that out of a McKinnon or McDavid, but for Matt Boldy to pull that off in a game like that.
Against McDavid.
What's that? Against
McDavid.
Yeah. It really, that to me was like, holy cow, is this going to be good? And it didn't let up. And I guess number 2 would have been the play of our goaltending. He was on fire. He was in his zone. But yeah, to me, that Matt Boldy play at the beginning really kind of, that was, and to get to be, for the U.S. to get up 1-0, I thought was big. So, yeah, it was a home run.
Y'all both talked about Hellebuck, and coming into the game, the big line on him was always, "Oh, big games, he doesn't show up," and man, did he show up! Yeah, very little of what my conventional wisdom casual hockey fan predictions were. Just none of those, very few of those actually happened, and it was just a fantastic, intense game that I wasn't expecting. So
right. Saw a lot of good back check, saw a lot of good poke check. You see a poke check, you're like, oh, look at this. Put it out there, because once you're extended, you're done. All you can do is swing it around so much because you're losing your grip. The further you let it out there, the more you're not in control of your stick. And you may get a wider range because of, physics, but you're losing all your strength. And sometimes it works. In the case of the women's, it didn't work. And then a goal was scored. All right. So we already got a ranking. Lance gave us a 10. Matt, what's your ranking?
Dude, I don't know. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a ranking of 46, and I'll tell you why. Because that's how long it's been since Miracle on Ice. And I'm hoping for the World Cup that's coming in 2 years or the Olympics in 4. I'm hoping networks decide not to play not Herb Brooks speech, but the Disney version of the Herb Brooks speech. And instead we can reflect on this game. I'm glad that we have something for this generation to go, yeah, that's my country there. That's our hockey program. And legitimizes USA hockey as top tier. So yeah, 46 out of 5. There you go.
Excellent. TC, tee off on that.
I'll go 5 out of 5 because that's what I thought the ranking was about. But short of that,
we're thinking abstract.
Yeah. I will say, it's a little funny when I'm talking to people. I grew up on the 80 Olympics. I know a fair amount about the 80 Olympics, but then
I watched it on TV. I was there.
Yeah. talking to my kids and other players around the rink, it's and even people in their 20s and 30s, you kind of forget about those things. It's probably like Bill Mazeroski's home run. It doesn't mean as much to me because I wasn't living through that. But yeah, so as Matt said, these kids can. I was there. I was watching it. It was it's their time. So yeah, exciting. No matter what, it's good for the sport.
Good for the sport. I think it's good for the country. Now, I'll let you in on a little secret. My USA jersey was my son's Christmas gift to me this year. You're welcome.
Wow.
You're welcome. That's
you.
what put it over. That's what did it for us, was my son giving me the Erozione jersey for Christmas, and now we have another gold medal. So that's what did it. So I need to have my son get me a Hellebuck jersey now, so we can keep this trend going. It'd be Hellebuck blue, not white. I'm gonna get the blue jersey this time because that's how I roll. Got to get one of each color, and do the alternate maybe some other year. But Matt and I were talking, and we're thinking, and TC, maybe you can help with this. The USA Olympic jersey needs to take a better tone. I mean, why does the curler jersey look better than the hockey jersey? I'm sorry, the curler jerseys are badass. But
well, then I hate to disappoint you, but the one thing that they have decided to do is that jersey that they wore. One, it's for all three teams, men, women, and sled, and they plan on keeping it around for quite a while. And they did some studies. They determined what people like the best, I guess is the best way to put it. There are a lot of traditionalists in this sport, as you guys know. And so it's going to be here for a while because it is our national team jersey for a long time to come.
We need an eagle breaking a hockey stick is what we need. That would be
or squishing the Canadian goose that we've seen so many memes of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the memes have been great. I mean, that's like that's a nice little dessert for the main course, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Sure has been. Yeah, there's so much cool iconography with this country that we could be using. But okay, fine, it's a word mark. And
I just had to throw that out there. TC's on here, so I get it. I understand the traditionalists. I understand people, and especially following hockey, Olympic hockey. You probably don't want to change your jersey every 4 years. But hello, every 4 years, yeah, that's 4 years. You got to wear that.
Here's another little odd one that I don't know how many people know it, but you can't put your national logo on the jersey. So the USA Hockey logo that Lance is wearing now can't go on the jersey.
The governing body, not national logo, governing body.
Governing body logo is not allowed to be used, and that's why we tried to use it one year and they shot us down. That's why the Canadian maple leaf really isn't the same maple leaf they use for their jersey. The everybody, it's an international rule that they can't use their governing body logo, which I find odd, but I've never heard a good reason for it, but yeah.
So I think me and Savage are going to come up with a fan jersey that is just wicked awesome. And
start rant about this way too much.
World Cup jersey. Is that your plan?
Do what?
The 96 World Cup jersey with all the swooshes and everything. I mean, I don't know. I agree with TC. The U.S. has had some bad jerseys. What was it, 02 with that circle in the USA? So this one, the 1980 jersey, the traditional style, love them.
Right. Now, I'm okay with this year's jersey. I just think we could elevate it with an eagle or a Lady Liberty or something, or maybe a background pattern in there that you can't see unless you really are close up, that cityscape or something like that. Maybe the Gulf of America in there. I don't know.
Yeah, the Four Nations had something like that for the Canadian jerseys. That was kind of cool, that little, But anyway, all right, fine.
Right. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. What are we going to do now? Y'all saw the comment from Drad27. Hellebuck also played with Odessa Jackalopes.
He did.
That's
AHL.
That is crazy incredible. All right.
Never played Tier 1 hockey, never played AAA hockey. His story is neat and incredible, and it does go to show it's a long-term athlete development sport.
So here's some pictures that I had from a previous guest, Christopher V. Nelson, when they filmed the movie Miracle,
Oh, that's cool.
the Disney movie, when they were working on the ice. And one of the funny things about that was they had to find not only the body type, but also all these actors had to do the voices because they were from Boston and they were from Minnesota. And so they had to get their voices and their mannerisms down too, as opposed to just AI at all. But before we go on to our last bit of things, we still got some time here. Let's talk about Houston being a hockey town. And
Scott, I want to say one thing, being a Philly guy. Best part of the Olympics, honoring Johnny Gaudreau. I think everybody at Nick's Place teared up. So knowing the Gaudreau family, to honor him the way that the U.S. team did, unbelievable.
And it's sad that not enough people know the backstory behind that. And now internationally, people are asking, so that's good. And that's good for the sport because he was a class act. And he is missed. He's not will be, he is missed. So I definitely agree with you. Going and plucking the kids from the stands and having his jersey skated around. I rewatched it. I still tear up.
Yep.
Unbelievable. It's just the feeling back home, everybody on social media, we all came together from that moment.
So Lance, you're heading up this little event in March 21st, and I'll click through some photos and you can tell us what's going on.
There's something March 21st, TC?
Oh, there definitely is.
Okay.
Oh, there is.
Well, if anything's going on, I'm willing to give away my cell phone after it blew up by, a lot of people yesterday. Nick's Place was at capacity. Social Beer Garden, HTX, 70 plus people. Underdogs, 60, 70 people, almost there to their capacity. It just shows how much, Houston can be a hockey town. So, I had a conversation right before our call, and I said, somehow this event, Hockey Day in Houston, has just been everything we've done just seems to turn to gold. I'm so thankful for everybody on the committee, just the women, I'm not going to name names because I had an ultimate blunder last year at the banquet. The women and the Houston Storm pulling off a watch party to grow the sport, in the women's sport in Houston and the girls' sport. This is an event that's intended to be about bringing fans together, knowing that hockey is still part of our culture, and exposing it to the community, how to get involved, how to play, where to go. And just what's amazing is almost the entire community has come together to say, hey, you know what? Coming together, we all can do great things. And, we got a pretty big announcement coming, hopefully later this week, that just is organizations coming together to celebrate hockey in Houston and saying, hey, together we're a lot stronger than being an individual. So the banquet on the night before, on the 20th, back September 23, the Houston Aeros WHA team had their 50th anniversary here in Houston. And it was not talked about they didn't want it to be public, but then at the last minute, I don't know how I got invited. Mark Tushnet, Dean Hill, they said, come be part of it. TC and I joined, and we tried to make it as public as possible. But it was at that moment that we got to meet a lot of power players in the community, and just the alumni support. When you have Mark Howe and Marty Howe saying, we're going to offer a $25,000 matching donation, not just 1 year, but 2 years in a row, because that's how much they believe Houston is a hockey town. It's surreal. I'm not going to go into the story when I revealed it to TC, but, hockey is the ultimate team sport. We said it when we unveiled the Hall of Fame banquet, or at the Hall of Fame. And the committee is a team. It's incredible. Everybody has a role. They want to do what's best. They're willing to step up and take pressure off of others. I think of, right now for the banquet, we have several individuals who said, hand it over. You have too much other things to worry about. And they're doing a phenomenal job planning it, the banquet out. And then, after yesterday, there's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be the largest hockey day in Houston. And I'm not doing that to scare people away. We want you there. Come meet Mark and Marty Howe, Graham Townsend, all the alumni that are going to be there, Terry Ruskowski. But there's a lot of great things that come from this event. TC, I think we were shared with the first year, there was 23 new hockey players that got exposed to hockey, youth hockey players just from the event. Then last year, more adult women got to meet Woe, and they came out. Anytime you can make an impact the way that we have. And then, I say it to my wife all the time. I'm fortunate. I got to have season tickets for the Flyers. We still do in my family. But 40 plus times a year, 20,000 people come together to watch hockey. Just one day a year. That's all we're asking for. One day a year. We want to see 10,000 people at St. Arnold's celebrating hockey and showcasing how much we love the sport. That, hey, you know what? TC and I talk about it, about the rinks. We want rinks all around the city. We want thousands of youth hockey players. We want adult leagues all across the city. One day it's going to happen, if you ask me. But for now, until pro hockey comes back, it's up to us, the community, to really make it happen. And, we've been fortunate for all the support. And, guys like Michel Petit, who played 18 years in the NHL, or Bobby Reynolds, who played with the Arrows, guys who live here, they're slowly becoming more and more involved in the game again. We're bringing it out in them. And if we can just do that for everybody, we've made that impact.
And this event is my favorite price, free. So you don't have an excuse. Get with a buddy, carpool, get there, have a good time, meet the folks that are there, enjoy yourself, enjoy the sport that we love. We love it. You may just don't know you love it yet. So come on out, come see us. Lance, tell us about this photo. You sent me this photo, and it's got a trophy in it, and I see the Howe brothers and their dad in the background. So this is from last year's alumni?
No, this is the Hall of Fame banquet. So first official Hall of Fame banquet that we did, and the How's doing a match. We had a local group who Silver Street Studios put us in touch with, or actually family who has a shop at Silver Street, put us in touch with an artist, sculptress, Alessandra Albin, who made this Gordie Howe sculpture. So we presented it in front of Mark and Marty Howe with the intention that one day we were going to auction it off. It's one of my biggest failures. We lost out. We could have had it autographed and add extra value. Fortunately, it did not sell. And this year, Mark and Marty are coming back. So we're going to have them on the streets. This would typically sell for $5,000, being custom built. But because it is of Gordie Howe, talking to some sports auction people, they believe it's a $10,000 to $12,000 piece. And then especially if we can have Mark and Marty to sign it or get a certificate of authenticity. So it just shows the impact that by bringing not only just the hockey community together, we brought the art community together through, Scott and Linda Chadbourne, their Ice Meets Art idea from a few years ago. We just need to expand, because once you get exposed to hockey, and I think Matt says it best, once you get exposed, you absolutely cannot walk away from the game. And like I said, I was on a call right before this, and the way the call started was, don't you just love hockey? Damn right I do. Damn right I do. And it's TC, don't you ever let me not love hockey again. You and Pat Farrell, you better not let me not love hockey again.
We're
All right, Lance.
And
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Scott, this banquet is a great time, and I don't want to get into pricing or anything like that, but the banquet the night before Hockey Day, if you were in an NHL city, that would be prohibitively expensive for the average Joe. Yeah, but me and the missus went last year, and we're going again this year, and it's something we're looking forward to. It's a hell of a time. And then, like you said, your favorite price for Hockey Day, I mean, it's free. And for what's available for that free admission, it's like, wow, we don't say the word free enough, free admission, when talking about Hockey Day, or talk bang for buck value for the banquet.
Come out and enjoy something you never thought you would love, and you will. You'll be hooked. It's going to be a good time, and I'm excited to see all you guys out there. So let's move on to our knockout. Well, it's not really a knockout round, but it is going to kind of feel like that. We're going to talk about 4 to 5 questions in 4 to 5 seconds. This is going to be our last bit, and we're going to let Matt go first because he may have to drop off to be somewhere. So Matt, and we're going to go round robin on each of these. Favorite sports moment, and you may have a new one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with yesterday morning. Yeah, other than that, it's just really personal. And that would be when I learned about hockey when the IHL version of the Arrows had a learn about hockey, and the sign said free admission. So, as a guy in my 20s looking for cheap date ideas, there you go. And I fell in love during the warm-ups. So yeah, that's my personal and my global favorite moments.
There you go. TC?
80 Olympics are still my high point. It's tough to beat that. The fact that they were so overly matched and still won. Yesterday was great, and it's probably number 2, but the 80 Olympics still, for me, resonates very well.
All right. Lance?
I'm going to say how I fell in love with being a goaltender. TC, probably he knows the story now because they presented me with a gift last year. But first time I ever put the pads on, 1984 or 85 in Philadelphia, the Flyers used to come out to the community rinks, and Pelle Lindbergh was on the ice with me. And I was crying because I was so scared of the puck to get hit. And he made me fall in love with the sport. Unfortunately, or with the position. Unfortunately, we all know the tragedy that occurred shortly after. But it shows you what one guy can do to a little kid and make an impact in their entire lifetime. So I'm going to use that 85 Pelle Lindbergh being on the ice with the first time I ever put the goalie pads on.
So if you were using this type of mask, I think I'd be
I would
scared.
not use that type of mask. I'm coming from someone who's lost her teeth because they didn't have I didn't have a cage on playing in a charity game. Yeah, I'm not wearing that mask anymore.
No. This one hurts when you get hit with a little street ball. This one will hurt. For me, it's Miracle, and number 2 would be Yesterday for me. Matt, first sports movie you remember watching as a kid?
Oh man, I don't know if you got to know this movie, Victory, with
Yes.
Pele. Yeah, I mean, I was in my backyard trying to do that windmill kick and falling flat on my head, and but as unrealistic or dumb or whatever adjective we want to, hokey, I guess would be a good word for it. But man, that was the movie I remember and tried to emulate Pele.
All right, Lance?
Don't laugh because it was the edited version when it used to run on TV with the commercials, but it's Slapshot. I remember my father and I watching Slapshot, at age 3, 4, 5, probably watched it 50 times a year.
And then when you got older and saw the rated R version,
I had no idea what my father was exposing me to. So the first time I watched it, I was, shocked what I was hearing and seeing, but it's Slapshot.
Okay. TC.
Bad News Bears.
That's mine too. Bad News Bears.
Yep.
Still a classic. It still holds up too.
Oh, it holds up so well. I still, but the edited version doesn't.
Right.
It never was really, I don't want to say good, but the edited version, no. But yeah, Walter Matthau was unreal in it. Yeah, one of my adult league jerseys says Lupus on it.
There you go. That's
back
funny.
then. That's what I look like.
Okay, favorite motivational sports movie, the one that makes you want to, just run through a wall that gets you going. Matt?
As much as I crap on it for being historically inaccurate, Miracle.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Lance?
Going out to another sport, The Program. Used to watch
Okay.
it all the time before any big game. I don't know why it wasn't.
Because
a lot
Halle
of
Berry
it's
was
gone.
in it.
Yeah,
That's
that
why
could
you
be a
vote.
reason too, but it's The Program.
Okay. TC?
If I'm sticking with hockey, it'd be Miracle, and then deviating off, it might be Any Given Sunday.
Love Any Given Sunday. I can watch that movie over and over and over and
Good,
over
good
again.
quote movie, motivational quote movie.
Very good quote movie. The speech by Al Pacino, I think they just let him go,
Yeah, I think you're
because
right.
the speech goes on forever.
Yeah.
It's pretty long. Okay, last question. Favorite movie, snack and drink. Matt?
Same thing I said last time. Whatever my wife puts in front of me, I'll let my wife's cooking. So there you go.
Okay, all right. Lance?
Same way I watch hockey. It's usually an iced tea and popcorn. So, yeah, go simple and easy.
Okay. TC?
I'll even go easier. Popcorn and water.
Oh my goodness. I'm looking for a steak and a beer.
Wow.
Because you're not limited by your imagination here, guys.
TC's up in the stands. He's getting the free press popcorn when he's at these tournaments. So that's why he's got the popcorn and water.
Don't get me wrong. I love me some popcorn.
Depends if I'm at home watching a movie or if I'm at the theater. So,
Right. Yeah, it does make a difference. So, if you could have anything, does that change your answer?
popcorn's still number one for a movie, but I'd probably have beer too.
Okay. Lance, does that change your answer any?
Yeah, I'll go, real pizza.
Ooh.
Real pizza.
Philly
That's a good one.
style.
No, it's got Philly Jersey style, not that New York thin crust. The
like the
Philly
thin
Jersey
crust.
style. Sorry, TC, you know what I'm talking about.
I
do,
love
but
the thin.
Just
I
when
want
you're
it
wrong,
cracker.
you're wrong, but whatever.
I love the cracker thin. I love it. Well, guys, thanks for joining me today. Hang tight. I'm going to meet you back in the back room. Thanks for being a part of my discussion about how Olympic hockey went this year. I was overjoyed with the end result, of course, but also I watched a lot of games and because I work from home and I could do that, and both men's and women's. And I'm like, oh, good. It's on where I can find it easily. And so hang tight. One more. And hey, thanks for joining us. You can rewatch it here again on Rafters. This has been our recap of Olympic hockey 2026, men's and women's. We looked at both. We talked about it. We chewed it up. We spit it out. Glad the men's and women's programs of the U.S. got their golds. Super excited for them. This is Scott with Rafters, Sports and Movies, and our game